Welcome to Mission Monday. Dan and I here with you from Colorado one more time. We're going to be leaving Colorado tomorrow, so I couldn't resist bringing this beautiful view to you one more time on our Mission Monday. So I'm going to let Dan pan the camera around, just kind of let you see this beautiful scenery here before we get into today's devotional. Isn't that amazing? This is on Gold Camp Road. Gold Camp Road, just north of, why don't you shoot it right down there a little bit too, Dan? Just north of Colorado Springs area. Isn't that gorgeous? Anyway, today I want to talk to you about our great quest. A few days ago, we went to the top of Pikes Peak and learned a little bit about the history of what they call America's Mountain. Pikes Peak, and back in 1806, Zebulon Pike had the first attempt, we should say, to climb the summit. Of course, they were trying to find trails through to the west, and he didn't make a successful climb, but nonetheless, that expedition was infamous, and therefore the mountain, Pikes Peak, was therefore named after him. And it was from that place that America the Beautiful was written. And because you look to the west, of course, you see more of the Rockies. You look back to the east, and that was where, you know, the waving fields of grain we get from the America the Beautiful. But anyway, today I want to talk about our great quest. You know, Zebulon Pike had a quest, but we have a quest as believers. But I want to talk to you just about that word quest. Quest is a journey, and I just picked this up on the internet, nothing special. But a quest is a journey that somebody takes to achieve a goal or complete an important task. Quest, obviously this is where we get the word question. You know, it's seeking information. But here's something about quest as it pertains to the movie industry. Quests are heroic in nature, usually featuring a protagonist, one who goes on a dangerous mission against all odds to save a group of people or society. Now, does that sound familiar? Did Jesus come on a quest? Yes, he did. Did he come against all odds? Yes, he did. Did he come to save a group of people or a society? Yes, he did. He came to save the family of God. It goes on to say sometimes the hero will set out on a quest to find a symbolic object or a person to bring them back to his home. Come on, that's the gospel right there. Jesus came on this great quest to save you and I, to bring us back home. Now it goes on to say in this little definition off the internet that quests are the foremost element of an epic. An epic. We've probably heard that term. We use it in our vernacular. Wow, that was epic. You know what I'm saying? Well, an epic is a legendary tale about a great hero on a quest, usually involving some sort of divine intervention. That's right off the internet, just a simple definition for you here today. But I wanted to talk about, well, what is our great quest? You know, it talks about in 1 Corinthians 14:1, if you read it in the Amplified, it says, make love your great quest. 1 Corinthians 14:1 in the Amplified Classic, you'll find that. Make love, obtaining this love, what we call the divine love, agape love, God kind of love. Make that love, as far as the expression of your life, make that the great quest. And that's why we use the verbiage, reviving the mission of love. We're talking about that mission today. It's a quest. It's something that all of us are seeking to not just obtain, because we actually obtain that love when we're born again. The Bible says God's love is shed abroad in our heart by the Holy Ghost when we're born again. But then the quest becomes allowing that love to be the expression of our life, where every day and every moment we live not just from a place of being loved, but we live to be love, to be the expression of love. And I want to read 1 Timothy 1:5, and I'm going to read it in a few different versions. This is Paul's writing to Timothy. He says, we reach the goal, 1 Timothy 1:5, this is the Passion Translation. We reach the goal of fulfilling all the commandments when we love others deeply with a pure heart, with a clean conscience, and with sincere faith. We reach the goal. We obtain the quest when we love others deeply with a pure heart, with a clean conscience, and a sincere faith. Now, the Amplified says this, whereas the object and purpose of our instruction and charge is love. That's what Paul's writing to Timothy. The objective, the instruction, and the purpose of our charge is love. See, love is a charge. Love is a commandment. It's not a suggestion. It's not just, hey, it'd probably work out better if you do it this way. No, it's actually our New Testament commandment to do life God's way. So let me read another version. Young's literal translation says, the end of the charge is love, out of a pure heart and a good conscience and faith unfeigned, or genuine faith. And then the ESV says, the aim of our charge is love. Love that issues from a pure heart and a good conscience and a sincere faith. So again, before I read a couple more, we're talking about the great quest. We're talking about the mission of love. You know, just like Zebulon Pike went on that great expedition, you know, to break into new territories, you and I can break our marriage, break our family, break our lives into new horizons, new territory. We all need to have somewhat of a pioneer spirit to go after something maybe that's never happened in our family. Maybe nobody in your family's ever started a business. Maybe nobody in your family's ever been in the ministry, and God's calling you into business, or God's calling you into ministry. Don't pull back from that. Accept the call, accept the challenge, accept that pioneer spirit that comes when God calls us into new territory, new places, new seasons. Because sometimes we got to have that pioneer spirit just to move from one season of life into another and not just settle down and camp. We always need to be climbing and advancing. Let me read a couple more versions of 1 Timothy 1:5. This is the New Living Translation. It says, the purpose of my instruction is that all believers would be filled with love. That love which comes from a pure heart and a clear conscience and a genuine faith. Now notice in all these passages, he's talking about a pure heart. He's talking about the conscience, keeping our conscience clear. How many know that's a quest? Keeping your conscience clear. That's a quest. Always having a pure motive and a pure attitude in life. And then, of course, faith unfeigned. Not pretend faith, not just put on and fake and just do it because other people are doing it. But no, let our faith be sincere. Let it be our own personal faith and genuine faith. And then finally, I like the Message. I'm going to read that as our last one. 1 Timothy 1:5 in the Message, it says, the whole point of what we're urging is simply love. You could take the whole Bible and wrap it up with that one statement. What is the whole point of the Bible? What is the whole point of this life of faith, this life and this walk with Christ, following Christ, taking up the cross, the mission of love, and following Him? What is the whole point? The whole point of what we're urging is simply love. Love uncontaminated by self-interest and counterfeit faith. Self-interest. See, this isn't about me. Sometimes life and pressure can make things always feel about us, and then we can look through that lens and then try to find answers and find solutions, and it's really all just about us. But this is about God's great plan. This is about God's great adventure. This is about God's great family. This is about God's great purpose for all of our lives. So the whole point of what we're urging is simply love, love uncontaminated by self-interest and counterfeit faith. And I love this, a life open to God. A life open to God. Now, I want Dan just to pan one more time, kind of back and forth to the right and left. I want you to think about a life open to God. As he pans around here, look at the scenery. The Bible says our God is a fortress. Our God is a rock. Our God is a refuge. And so think about these mountains and think about this view, think about this scenery, and think about your life, a life open to God, open to a new season. And I just feel in my spirit that some And I just believe right now, even as I share this, there's just going to come a courage in your heart and a strength in your heart to just have a pioneer spirit, to just be willing to pioneer something new in your life, something new in your family, something new in ministry, something new in business. Let that direction come from heaven, but then when it comes, don't back down. Take the courage that God brings when He gives you that instruction and that direction, and have a pioneer spirit. And so it goes on to say, as we wrap up here today, those who fail to keep this point will soon wander off into the dead end of gossip. They will set themselves up as an expert on religious issues, but they won't have the remotest idea of what they're holding forth with such imposing eloquence. So again, just a few different versions of 1 Timothy 1:5, and just a simple definition of what is a quest. I want to give it to you again today. A quest is simply a journey that someone takes to achieve a goal or complete an important task. Quests are heroic in nature, usually involving, again, that lead actor who goes on a dangerous mission against all odds to save a group of people or society. And of course, we're seeing Jesus today as our hero. He's the one who went on the great quest. It was an epic quest, and it was to save you and I, his brothers and sisters, lost sons and daughters, the family of God. And then John 17:18, he says, even as the Father sent me, even so send I you. So when you live the life of love and you live a life of faith and you walk with God and you walk with intimacy with God, your life, then you become a hero to somebody. Because anybody you bring Jesus to and you bring them to Jesus, you're that hero. You're that hero going on that quest to help others find their place in the Father's house. So I wanted to share those few thoughts with you here today on this Mission Monday. Again, enjoy the journey, enjoy the quest. Your life is an epic journey. My life is an epic journey. Jesus is our hero, but He's also releasing and sending each of us to be a hero, to bring people the love of God. So we bless you today one more time from Colorado, and we'll be probably somewhere maybe not quite so as exciting next time, but nonetheless, life is exciting, the journey's exciting, the quest is exciting, and we love you and we're praying for you here at Family Mission. God bless you today.